Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mass Retirees Weekly Update. Today's Friday, August 15th. I'm Sean Duhamel. Thank you so much for joining with us and tuning in again this week. Now I want to kick things off by thanking those of you who took the time to complete the survey that we sent out to everyone last week. As of today, we've had over 3,400 members take the survey, providing us with some fantastic information about your thoughts, your feelings, your interests in terms of the content that we publish in our newsletter, The Voice, as well as in these weekly updates and at our town hall meetings that we have periodically throughout the year. This information is really valuable to us, mostly because we want to make sure that the information that we're sending to you, that we're publishing, that we're putting all this time and effort to get to you is the type of information that you find valuable, that you find interesting, and that it's helping to inform you in terms of the issues that are of direct importance to you as a retired public employee. So 3,400 and counting responses is a fantastic sample size. There were no great surprises, I should add, or a handful of surprises, I should say, but nothing earth-shattering. The important thing is that overwhelmingly, the feedback that we got, and I'm going to give you just a few quick examples. We're going to have a lot of details in this week's email message that of course goes out to every member, every Mass Retirees member at 6 a.m. on Friday mornings. So if you're looking for more detailed information on the survey or the other things I'm talking about in this and other videos, please look to the email that would have come out under my name, 6 a.m. on Friday morning. But just real quick, in terms of the top line number, the first question we asked in the survey was, out of all of the issues that we report on, and we gave a multiple choice of answers, what are the top three? And without fail, the number one issue is the COLA, followed very closely behind by healthcare. And it could be Medicare, GIC, local health insurance, or just healthcare in general. There's an overwhelming interest in healthcare, which completely makes sense. The third most popular issue was Social Security, which again, very much makes sense, in particular in the aftermath of the repeal of weapon GPO and the passage of the Social Security Fairness Act. We also asked questions regarding what are you least interested in learning about or seeing published in the newsletter or in our weekly updates. And human interest stories, the photo collages that we publish, the obituary page were items that were of least interest to our members. And again, this is valuable feedback. As I explained in last week's update, our newsletter is only 20 pages long. And inevitably, with every single edition of The Voice, we're forced to make choices in terms of what we can fit into those 20 pages and what has to be cut out or punted down the road to the next edition. And with every single edition of The Voice, we're leaving on the cutting room floor, as they say, anywhere from 4 to 8 different articles. Now, thankfully, a lot of those articles can carry over to the next edition. But some of them can't because they're more timely. But again, we're working with a limited amount of space. And that's where these weekly updates also help to kind of fill the void, because there have been several issues that we have included in the weekly updates as we have more space and the ability to get these out to you every single week. But again, we want to make sure that we're getting you pertinent information that you want to read and that you want to consume and that you're interested in at the end of the day. Further information on the poll results or the survey results will be contained or are contained in our weekly message, so please tune into that. In addition, this week's update also focuses on the October edition of The Voice, which here is the bootleg copy, as Nancy McGovern deemed this earlier today. It is chock full of important information relative to your retirement. And I know I'm biased, but we put out an excellent product. I am very, very proud of our team here at Mass Retirees for the amount of work that goes into these newsletters, the look and the feel of this, and our design partners at Chameleon Design Group, as well as the print shop that we work with, Standard Modern, which is a union print shop down in the south coast of Massachusetts. Collectively, the full team, whether it's our folks here at Mass Retirees or our external partners, really come together to publish a fantastic product that we're really proud of. Now, kicking things off, our main focus, our top article, is about the great success of our public pension systems. Over the past 40 years, not only have our public pension systems systematically paid down the unfunded liability that had built up, and many people today don't realize that in the mid-'80s, when that massive pension funding reform went through, Massachusetts was really the laughingstock of the country, and second only to Mississippi at that time in terms of our unfunded liability and the lack of funding or proper funding of our public pension systems. That changed in the early to mid-'80s, and ever since then, the Commonwealth and the cities and towns have done a fantastic job of paying down that debt. Many are near or at fully funding status. The Commonwealth itself for the state and teacher retirement systems will be fully funded in 2036. This success, we believe, enables our 104 public retirement systems to improve benefits. As we have repeatedly said, we believe the great success of our retirement systems must be shared with the beneficiaries, shared with you. You're the beneficiary of these retirement systems. You paid into the system during your working years. That's your money. These trusts exist for your benefit. And now that we're finally achieving funded status or nearing funded status, it is about time that that success be shared with all of you. And multiple years now, we have published this report. It's based on the excellent data that is published by the Public Employee Retirement Administration Commission, PERAC. They do an excellent job. We have expanded on the data that PERAC has published by including COLA information and making it a little bit more digestible in terms of the story that we're telling. We didn't change the data, of course, but we just added a more complete set of data to give a really detailed picture of the health of the retirement systems, how they're doing in terms of the COLA, when they're going to be fully funded. That way, all of you can fully understand the circumstances that apply to your specific local retirement system. So please look to the article, look to the charts that we have. In addition, we also have a very detailed report on the COLA base. And as we recently reported, we had 17 retirement systems, local retirement systems, who increased their COLA base for FY26. And we provide a full report on all 104 systems, what the base level is, when the base was last increased, and so forth. Again, to give you the full spectrum of information as to the health of these systems. We also have a report or an update for all of you of the work, the ongoing work of the Special COLA Commission. Because all of this data and the ongoing success of our retirement systems directly plugs into what the recommendations end up being that will come out of the COLA Commission, and we believe, or we anticipate, that the COLA Commission will issue a report sometime this fall. It will then be upon us to see that those recommendations are implemented by the legislature, and the legislature is going to be looking at this data. They're going to want to know how this is going to be paid for. Is this affordable? And we believe that it is, and this data and the success of the systems over the past 4 decades is the reason why we believe that what we're trying to achieve by increasing a COLA base or creating the new senior COLA are achievable goals based on this information. Returning to the front page, we have a follow-up article on healthcare affordability. This is going to be a topic that's going to remain at the highest priority levels for us going forward for the foreseeable future. The good news is that collectively, the various stakeholder groups, whether it's our labor partners, the insurance companies, the GIC, other external partners, are starting to come together in a collaborative manner to work together to find solutions to the healthcare affordability crisis. There's a lot of work to be done. This is only the beginning, but the fact that we have senior executives from Blue Cross and Blue Shield coming to our office just a few weeks ago to sit down and really delve into the problems and wanting to know specifically what we're hearing from our members and what they can do to work with us to help all of you. That's a positive sign. And look to this article. I think that you will be pleased with the progress that is starting to be made. And again, we have a lot of work to do. This is just a ton that needs to be done, but it's a start. In addition to the healthcare, we also have an update on the implementation of the Social Security Fairness Act. Through July, Social Security is now reporting that 100% of known retirees who were impacted by weapons GPO have now been made whole. That includes 117,000 Massachusetts residents who collectively have received about $940 million in retroactive benefits since February 1st. This is a tremendous economic boom to Massachusetts, and it is, and I don't need to tell any of you this who actually have benefited from this, but as we're repeatedly told by our members, this has been a life-changing event, and we are thrilled that we got to play a part in helping to pass that law, and we provide an update as well as some further information for those of you who have either not applied for Social Security or who have applied and are waiting and so forth. There's some additional information contained in the voice that would apply to you. We also have a report from our association president, Frank Valeri, who has announced that he is seeking re-election to the State Retirement Board. Frank, of course, is one of 2 elected members serving on the State Retirement Board. That position is open for re-election this fall. Frank has taken out nomination papers, and I'm not exactly sure of the timeline of when ballots and so forth will be mailed, but we will be reporting back to you once that information is better known. But it is taking place this fall, and we're thrilled to have Frank represent our members on the board. And of course, he has our full support in his re-election, and I hope he has yours as well. And finally, in terms of the top line articles in the newsletter, we're very happy to announce the appointment of our dear friend and colleague, Sean Nealon, to the position of Executive Vice President for our association. As all of you know, unfortunately, we lost our long-term Executive Vice President, Paul Shanley, who passed away earlier this year. Sean Nealon had retired at the end of 2024 as the Assistant Executive Director for the Teachers Retirement System. Sean had been at the MTRS for more than 30 years. I have known Sean for as long as I have been here at Mass Retirees, and this is my 31st year working for you. I actually knew Sean prior to coming here. We were both colleagues working in the House of Representatives back in the early 90s. Sean, when I first met him, was the research director for the Joint Committee on Public Service, which of course is the legislative committee that oversees all of the public retirement legislation that is filed. Sean is a policy expert when it comes to public retirement law, everything related to retirement. We are absolutely thrilled that he agreed to come on board with us. He is going to be, right out of the chute, a true asset to our association. I am very excited to be working directly with him once again. We've pulled him out of retirement, put him back to work for us, and I'm sure you'll be seeing and hearing more from Sean directly in the coming weeks and months as he gets settled into this new role. But we're really excited to have him on board in our team. Despite the fact that you now have 2 Seans, that make it a little bit confusing, although he spells it differently than I do, so there's that. But again, the voice is at the printer. You'll have it in your hands hopefully before Labor Day. I hope you enjoy reading it. And as I mentioned last week, today's or this week's update will be the last update for the month of August. We're taking a brief hiatus for the remaining couple of weeks of August. We will be back to you again on Friday, September 5th with a new update. And again, if you are interested in attending our annual meeting, it takes place on Friday, September 12th at White's of Westport. It's a new location this year. Kicks off at 11 a.m. If you're in the South Coast area, if it's a nice day and you want to take a ride, come on down and say hello. We look forward to seeing all of you. But in the meantime, enjoy these final couple of weeks of the dog days of summer. Happy Labor Day, everybody, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye, everyone.